What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing Twinblast in the Safe Lane. Now, I did experiment with this deck, that's why I've got so many cards in it, but I'll kind of just go over what I'm using. I've got Duelist, Relentless Pursuit, Multi-Shot, Wealthy, Auto Healing Potion, and Armored for my gems. Now, as for the cards, I have Living Guardian, Sacred Alchemy, Nitro Boost, Sand Speeder, Pressure Hunter, followed by Heavy Hitter, the Poised Aggressor, Shattered Golem, Overclock Droid, Demolitionist, and lastly, March of the Moloch. Now, these cards are all out of order, and I really wish that I would have put them in the right order, or, you know, you can actually put the cards in the order you want if you pick them in order, but I did pick these all out of order, and I was just kind of trying things out, so I was throwing things together. But I do start out with my Demolitionist, just so it makes getting those last hits a little bit easier. Now, I am playing Order and Chaos, and this is strictly for Sacred Alchemy. If you don't know, Sacred Alchemy is borderline broken. It's 18 power, 20 attack speed, and 240 health, and it is a 12-point card, but you gain shields equal to 20% of your basic damage. And as an ADC, you're just spraying bullets at the end, so you're getting shield upon shield upon shield, and you're really able to stay alive, even without having lifesteal. Now, I don't have lifesteal on this hero, just because I am missing the gem, so I needed to pick up Sacred Alchemy over anything else, just so I have some sort of late game sustain. Now, this was a very odd match. We had a Countess support, which I've never really seen a Countess support, and just her presence was kind of messing me up on last hits, as well as this is really my second game as ADC, and I'm just not really syncing up with the new ADC at all. I don't like the attack speed. I feel that I'm just doing no damage at all. So that's why I went with this Demolitionist first, because I'm really struggling getting those last hits, and everybody knows as an ADC you should be getting last hits. And if you see here, I'm only at 4 last hits in, and I'm, 2 minutes in right now. So anything that can help you get those last hits is worth, but I did want to go Order for that sustain card, so that kind of takes me out of Cull of the Week. Now, one huge thing about Twinblast that has changed is his escape is on a super short cooldown now, and that really allows you to play a little more aggressive solo, because you do have an escape, and running a card like Nitro Boost or Sand Speeder, you've got a decent amount of mobility, so you can get away. But I am going against a Morgesh in this lane, so I do have to play very cautiously, because, that ultimate will just absolutely eat me alive. Now, we did end up having our Morgesh DC. She came back and then DC'd again, and she actually stayed gone. So we were a 4v5 for most of this match, and then once we kind of started pulling ahead, their Wukong ended up DCing. So we ended up, towards the end, actually being a 4v4 match. But it was really tough actually getting this tower down. I ended up taking it down at 7.5 minutes, but I did not have a support or even have that Countess in that in the safe lane with me, just because she ended up having to rotate and cover mid for our missing hero. But we end up doing very well, and like I said, since I have just a really good escape now and ways to just absolutely get out whenever I'm in danger, I'm able to kind of play a little more aggressive solo. Now, I think if we were playing against a more coordinated team, I would definitely not be able to play this recklessly, but it worked out fine for me. I was able to really kind of push and, you know, get that tower down at 7 minutes, and without having, you know, that support or another hero in lane with me, I'd have to say that's fairly decent for, you know, a solo carry. Now, unfortunately, this was just a really slow match. I was not able to really do much to rotate or anything like that, just because we were down a hero. They did have a Wukong, so, you know, their Wukong is pretty decent at pushing lanes. Of course, you saw him there in the jungle taking our green buff. I threw a grenade to try to steal it, but I did not want to challenge a Wukong, especially one getting green buff. Now, I'm not exactly sure if he was heading back, but you can see he's pretty laggy, and he actually ends up getting away there, but that's fine. He has been just taking full advantage of us being down a hero and not having a solid jungle, which we do have a Shimby jungler, but I have not played with Shimby in a pretty good while, and I have not really seen a whole lot of Shimby presence since V42 came out, but I definitely have played with one in this match, and I can say she still just doesn't make the best jungler. And with her ability, you know, she's an ability damage hero, and knowing that she's going to be very slow in the jungle at the early stages, and with just kind of the meta or how 42 has came across, you need a solid jungler in the jungle that can clear those camps and get your team that farm. So I would definitely recommend not running a Shimby jungler, or at least, you know, having a team that, if you want to play a Shimby jungler, have a team that knows what you're doing. And, you know, unfortunately, we lost a hero, so having, you know, that ability damage hero in the jungle is just kind of hurting us at this point. Now, one great thing about this match is I am in comms with our offlaner, and that's Navy Brown, so we've been able to kind of coordinate our efforts, and I wasn't really planning on pushing this lane all the way up, but we do have a strong presence in mid lane, and we did see a handful of heroes, you know, really pushing that mid lane, and I have a feeling that we're going to get one of these two towers because he's going in on their tier 2, so they're going to have to rotate to one of us, and I'm kind of using this opportunity to my advantage, especially now that two of their heroes have gone down. I'm just going to go ahead, stay in this tower, and hopefully get it down. Now, I am getting fairly fed at this point, so you see I'm absolutely able to just melt that tower, and I can get out fairly easily with Nitro Boost and my actual escape. I'm just able to book it. Now, I am not quite farmed up enough to get my massive, you know, in-game deck or get that really sustained card, but I do have a very solid mid-game deck right now with Nitro Boost, an Overclocked Droid, and then that heavy hitter. This is going to allow me to do just tons of damage, and I do have a little more mobility with that Nitro Boost, which I would highly recommend trying out Nitro Boost. I thought about putting on the Blitz Rush, but I have not tried that out yet, and I'm really happy with Nitro Boost so far. It's on a very short cooldown, I believe it's 15 seconds, and it doesn't give you just a massive amount of escape ability, but it does give you enough. And if you see here, that Faye rooted me, but I'm able to get out. I did miss my jump there, but with that Nitro Boost and my very short cooldown on my rocket boots, I'm able to get out fairly easy. Now, this Wukong decided to dive me under the tower. he had green buff, but I'm fairly decently farmed right now, and I'm able to take him out pretty easily. And I go ahead and clear out this mid lane, and me and Countess are able to just really get some more pressure back in this mid lane. But I'm going to go ahead and back and get on my good sustain card. Now, if you have not got to play with Sacred Alchemy yet, you're about to see just the power of this card. And if you look, every time I hit, I'm getting a shield. Of course, these shields don't last long, and they really only work as long as you're hitting heroes. But with my attack speed, as well as that multi-shot, I'm just putting on shield after shield after shield. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you are limited on the amount of buffs. It looks that way, but, you know, you could be getting massive amounts, and I'm not. You know, that's something that hopefully Epic will be able to answer with these amount of buffs that you're able to get now with the game. It looks like there's, you know, 7 or 8 that you're able to get, or that are able to actually be displayed, but it might be further. Now, I am able to go and just absolutely melt that off lane, or that safe lane inhib, and I'm going to get out. Now, their steel does run up, and I do a little damage to him, but I guess he didn't want to engage on me. But Faye does, and you can see here, with her massive amount of burst damage, you can see Sacred Alchemy is just keeping me alive, and I'm able to absolutely melt her. Now, me soloing a burst caster, especially one that used her full kit, and I got hit with every ability she had, I'm still able to, you know, out damage her, and I have enough of a shield to stay alive, even though she started hitting me before I was actually attacking. So I'm able to just maintain or sustain, come back, and just, like I said, absolutely destroy her. So this card right now, I believe it's going to be nerfed. There's no way that you can have this card on a carry that's attacking, you know, 3 times a second and getting these massive amounts of shields. You know, they're almost unkillable. If I would have had lifesteal, there would have been no chance of her actually being able to do damage to me at that point. So I really think this card's going to be changed, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, we did end up going for Prime here, and we had some great team rotation. We are still down our Morgesh, but you see all 4 of us were able to come over here. Although I'm only in comms with our Greystone, you know, hey, this is great teamwork, and being a 4v5 team, we did an absolute great job of playing the objectives and just playing very, very smart, and we ended up coming up with this win, which is absolutely amazing. This is one of my, you know, most highlighted games I've played since I started playing version 42. I really like playing that underdog role where, you know, you have that great comeback. It just feels really good. So we ended up, like I said, coming back and doing a great job. We end up pushing this inhib down, which that ends up taking out all of their inhibs, and we're able to go ahead and wrap this game up. Now, I know this was not the most glamorous game. I end up being 4-0-1, but I really wanted to show that, hey, you can do a 4v5 and be very successful. This Paragon is not about killing. Paragon is about playing the objective, and if you see here, we still have 2 of our tier 2s up, all of our inhibs, and we've just absolutely dominated this team. Now, if you looked right there, Sacred Alchemy saved me once again with that Morgesh ult. Since I had those shields on, I was, you know, I've basically got a self-sustaining Muriel just standing on my shoulder healing me, and that's a great card. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.